the Official League podcast. Hold on to your hamstrings, or they'll be my next treat.
Welcome to the Bands Make Her Dance Fantasy Football League podcast. With your hosts, Taylor LaPrairie and Joe LaFever.
Ooh, what's up, guys?
Oh, man.
Oh, Friday, October 30th. Yes, one day before Fright Night 2020. Halloween is upon
Eve.
us. Yes, and it's just Tay and I this week. Tay, it's great to see you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm worried that I'm about to be bullied, though. There's no guest here to defend me against you.
Well, you have the injury zombie.
The injury zombie can't like that. Did not like that one bit. As soon as Joe showed me that, I'm like a very skittish, don't like scary things. We're going to talk about this later, I'm sure, but I do not like scary things. And as soon as he played that for me, I was like, I'm going to like sleep with a nightlight as soon as I heard that. So I also have been having shin splints recently, so the injury zombie is probably going to come and get me.
Yeah, watch out. Hold your hammies close, because he's coming after him. I gotta ask, are you sipping a little something tonight?
I am. So I'm not a huge Halloween person. I think that like the demons and the scary stuff, I think that's like way too real. Don't like that. I've had too many experiences that are negative. So I'm sporting a Shiner holiday cheer, trying to get into the Christmas spirit. Christmas brings me happiness, not scary thoughts.
All right, there you go. I'm drinking. What do we decide? Pre-show is High Ally, right?
High
Ally by
Ally.
Cigar City. Nice little IPA. I don't think I have had it before I bought a 6-pack. Very much enjoy
I think
it.
I like that IPA, and there's about like 3 or 4 IPAs I do like, and that's one of them.
Yeah, it's a
That's
good beer.
one.
Well, hey, we got lots of things to jump into, some news, some matchups, a little bit of trick-or-treating for us, and yes, Taylor's favorite segment, Scary Stories, to round out the show. But I gotta ask, before we jump in, I need your favorite Halloween candy and the favorite thing that you have dressed up as for Halloween from your past, or if you're still dressing up, I guess whatever your favorite costume is.
I do not dress up anymore. I am officially retired from trick-or-treating. But my favorite candy is by far, I say it weird, so prepare yourself. I say Reese's. I don't know. Everyone always rolls their eyes and they're like, it's Reese's.
Yeah,
and
Reese's.
I understand that I say it wrong, but I refuse to change.
All
It
right.
is Reese's to me.
Classic Taylor.
Yeah, and I call them Reese's Pieces. Again, I know that that's incorrect.
Wait.
I do. I call it Reese's Pieces.
Pieces.
I do. I had a little baggie the other day, the Reese's Pieces to me. And like I said, I do not want to change, so I will not. I know I'm wrong, but I'm okay with that.
All right.
And as far as costumes, I remember that one time I've seen some pictures. I think I went as like a lion one year. I think it was like, is it supposed to be Aslan from the Narnia books? I also went as a Teletubby for a couple of years.
Oh, I need those pictures.
Yeah, I think I was Poe, for those of you that are big Teletubbies followers. But the most memorable ones for me, I kind of chose, I was either a ninja or I was Spider-Man for about 7 years in my youth. And there's a picture, I'll post it on the Facebook group of me in the Spider-Man uniform, or costume rather, not uniform. I'm marching band mode. But I'll post a picture and you guys will laugh and you'll see why as soon as I post it. But yeah. I was usually either a ninja because it was easy. I dressed in all black, or I was Spider-Man.
Yes, I gotta say, I have seen the Spider-Man picture, and it is absolutely priceless.
You will never look at me the same way.
So I definitely agree with you, but I will say it differently. Reese's is hands down my favorite Halloween candy as well. But I also do enjoy your favorite, Milky Way.
Milky Way?
It has milk in it.
It's okay. Again, it's not things that have milk as an ingredient is fine,
Oh, I know.
but milk by itself, disgusting. Same thing with butter. I'm not going to have butter by itself. It is good as an ingredient.
Another hot take: butter.
You need some milk.
Yeah, jeez. Okay, my favorite Halloween costume. Let's see. I've been a baseball player. I have been probably one of my favorites when I was a kid was a train engineer. So like you used to
conductor.
Conductor. Yeah.
A young budding conductor.
And you so you take a cork and you burn the end of it, and then you can you can basically make it look like you have like coal, like, you know, because the coal gets all over your face and your hands and stuff. So so that was cool. I think my favorite
that sounds kind of toxic.
Yeah, but you know, you do it for the
you do it for the candy.
Candy, right? You know, you really got to step it up sometimes. But I think my favorite, though, in high school, I was cheese and crackers. So I wore a cheese head, and then I got a cardboard box, cut some holes in it, and wore this box and put Ritz crackers on the front. So I was cheese and crackers.
I love that. So you went in high school. You were trick-or-treated in high school.
Yeah, I did for like the first 2 years. And then junior and senior year, I was like, yeah, let's not do this anymore. Wait, was it high school? No, maybe it was middle school. I think it might have been middle school now.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, I quit when I was in high school. As soon as I became a high schooler, I didn't do it. But then I did go 1 year, but it was because there was a girl that I had a crush on, and she asked me to go trick-or-treating. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go. And needless to say, we did not date. I was too shy. I did not make a move on Halloween night. But I think middle school is where like it's kind of the retirement age.
Yeah, sounds like it was more of a trick than a treat for you, Taylor.
Yeah, it truly was. What a lonely life we live here.
Oh, gosh. All right, let's jump into some news.
News from around the league.
So a couple new COVID things. I think it's the Giants that have some possible problems now.
Well, you don't want any part of that offense anyway.
That's true. But they do play the Bucks on Monday night, and you do want some of those pieces. So that could impact that. I know the Texans are also dealing with something. Fortunately, it's their bye week, so they're going to, work through that now. So hopefully we won't have to worry about that. I think that's about it. I may be forgetting one team. I don't know. Have you seen anything, Taylor? I think that's about as up to date as we are.
I can't think of any. At least none of them impact my fantasy team, so I don't care.
There you go. Classic. All right, we have a signing. I don't believe we talked about this last week because it was still unofficial, but Antonio Brown has officially signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He is finishing up his 8-game suspension and will be back with Tom Brady for a second season in a row here.
Yeah, I'm so curious to see what happens. I know we're going to talk about this later, but I'm so curious as to what kind of role he will play, because I don't think that they're trying to just like, okay, let's just get as many weapons as we can. I don't think that has that ever really truly worked? I mean, it kind of works with the Chiefs, I guess, but even then, I think it's just because you have such an amazing quarterback who can get you out of any situation. But I'm curious, is Antonio Brown going to start taking that kind of Chris Godwin role? And keep Mike Evans as like their deep threat? Are they going to operate? I just am curious how that's going to look.
Yeah, we're going to get into it a little bit later in one of our segments because it is a topic. But yeah, I'm interested as well to kind of see what he does. Obviously, he's a tremendous talent, and he's going to be used in some capacity. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly that is in Tampa Bay. Okay, injuries. Oh my gosh. Okay, more injuries. Andy Dalton got a concussion on Sunday. It
was rough.
It was very rough. Dallas is not a place that you want to be right now. I think Ben DiNucci will be the starter this Sunday, 7th round quarterback pick. Yeah. Rough.
I'm hoping that the Cowboys trade for Kirk Cousins. That's my hope. Give us a first rounder.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so
Kirk.
Yeah, Dallas is feeling it right now. Christian McCaffrey, as of this recording, did not suit up for the Thursday night game. So he's still out, hoping to be back next week. Joe Mixon is day-to-day now. Chris Carson left the game last week with a midfoot sprain. Kenyon Drake, torn ankle ligament. I mean, they just all these running backs. Jerick McKinnon, a high ankle sprain. Philip Lindsay with a concussion. Miles Sanders is still out. Aaron Jones was held out of practice on Thursday.
It's that injury zombie, man.
I'm telling you, man, he's out for the hamstrings. Well, yeah, because he got Debo this last week too. Debo hamstring injury. Oh, Tim Patrick hamstring injury. OBJ,
Save Tim Patrick.
OCBJ, torn ACL out for the season. That's a big one.
Yes.
And then Deontay Johnson dealing with another injury. So
it's rough.
I'm telling you, man, that injury zombie is just taking names right now. So we had more name changes in our league. I
love these.
Yes,
love this for our league.
And I believe, I don't know the terms of the agreement, but I understand that Evan has bought the Antonio Brown naming rights from Marshall. Marshall, I hope you really charged him a lot because I just, you got to take advantage of taking advantage of Evan.
Yeah, exactly.
So to start off, Antonio's Brownies, Marshall's team has now become AJ's Brownies in honor of, I'm assuming, AJ Brown, because he's just been lighting it up. I mean,
well, when AJ Brown plays, I can't believe how phenomenal he is. I can't believe it. It's just when he plays, and like that's the thing that I was a little bit about him, is just like, well, is he gonna repeat the crazy numbers that he had? He was so touchdown dependent, it felt like last year, but like he's a dude.
Yeah.
But it's the injury thing with him.
Yeah, and he now that he's back, I mean, he's showing what he can do, and I think part of it too is Ryan Tannehill. I mean, we all saw what he did the second half of last season and how efficient he was, and we were like, I don't think the Titans can, replicate
Dude's a
this.
baller.
And then
Dude's
now
good.
look at them. I mean, they're basically doing what they were doing last season. I'm excited because I think I told you way back when, like, I don't know, maybe April or something, that I thought the Titans would win this division. And this was right after Phillip Rivers was signed to the Colts, and we were thinking, the Colts could have something to do with it too. But I think the Titans,
River.
Yeah, man.
Love that P.
Titans are just running away with it. Love to see it. And then obviously Evan's name changed. So look at me. I'm the IR now. I think he only had that name for a week. Has now become the AB Redemption Arcs.
It's good.
I don't really know I don't understand what that means though.
He needs a redemption on his season. Evan does.
Is that okay? Is that I guess
it should have been
Evans.
It should have been Evan's redemption run. That's what it should be.
Evan's redemption run. Yes. Yeah. Maybe he's got a lot of work to do there. I also want to give a quick shout out to Evan. Evan, it's that time of the week. Evan texted both of us, letting us know that Christian McCaffrey might have the possibility of coming back this week, and for us to take that into account for our power rankings. I'm just going to give this to you right now, Evan. We'll just get it out of the way.
Oh?
I had to. I can't resist. It's too good. All right, we had some waiver wire stuff happening. Nothing too crazy, just actually low spending this week. Everyone was being quite frugal.
We're all strapped for cash.
I think so. Yes. So, yeah, nothing too much to get into that. Let's look at some matchups from this last week.
Matchup recap.
All right, the first game of the week. Oh man, poor Tim. The Fighting Jordan Howards fall to AJ's Brownies, 150.65 to 134.05. Tim is still taking bad luck from every week. I mean, he puts up points and still loses. The big headline here was Tom Brady and the namesake AJ Brown, 40.55 and 27.3 fantasy points respectively for those two players. Tom Brady, 5 touchdowns, man.
That's crazy. But the other thing that's mind-boggling to me is Rob Gronkowski. I remember I was like, why would you take Gronk in the whatever round he took him in, like the 6th or 7th or whatever? And then against my team, he gets a touchdown or 2. And then now he's like looking like he's like returning to old Gronk. So
I want to know, do you think it's more a product of, okay, now they're more comfortable with, how things are going in Tampa Bay, and that's why? Or is it just because OJ Howard is out?
I think it's because he wasn't in shape and he wasn't really ready to go. And now he's like a part of the offense. And like, I think Brady trusts him now. Mm-hmm. And now he's going to go to him. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I think it's more of a case of the offense progressing as the season goes. So, I mean, hey, way to go, Marshall.
What a bust about OJ Howard, though. Like, every year it seemed like, oh, he's going to be the man. But he just never was. It's just really disappointing. Yeah,
hopefully next season for him. So Marshall saw Gronk in the tea leaves, and he's feeling good about that. Terry McLaurin put up some points for Tim, but 22 fantasy points this week. The only option, well, actually, I take that back because Antonio Gibson, we'll talk about that in a little bit, had a week.
Let's go.
But really, one of the only viable players in Washington right now that is working out. How about the next game? Oh, this is a rough one. This might be the lowest score of the season. And Lisa loses to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air 168.5 to 78.35. Yes, Derek doubled up on Kevin's score and then some.
There was a time when I believed in Kevin's team, and I was like, everything's there. It makes sense. He had part of the San Francisco backfield. He had Adam Thielen. He had Aaron Jones. He had so many pieces, and then he had one of the Rams receivers, and I just don't understand what has happened.
Yeah, I think part of it was that trade with Evan. I mean, Aaron Rodgers did put up 30 plus this week for Kevin, but yeah, I mean when your opposing quarterback, when Derek's quarterback Kyler puts up 40 plus. I mean, how can you compete with that? And also, too, I want to highlight this. Brandon Ayuk was 17.5 fantasy points this week because I'm happy and also mad because I like Brandon Ayuk. I think he's a great player. I would love to have him on my team. I'm sad because he's taking Debo's spot because Debo's injured and I have Debo. So I am disappointed to see this product. I mean, I'm happy to see the production for Brandon Ayuk, but I also know that it could potentially be Debo's work, and he's not going to get it now.
Yeah, that's a shame for you.
Yeah, thanks. Cry me a river, right?
I'm okay with. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, all right. Here we go, Taylor. Oh my gosh, we have a lot to talk about this.
This
squeak out a win and hooked on a Thielen 128.2 to 123.45 for the injured reserves. I have a lot to say to defend Kelsey here, but I want to hear what you have to say first.
Okay, first of all, I feel like my team is just like we're like the Spartan Dogs from like 4 years ago, where we get into all we got to do is keep it close, and then something will happen. We'll make it happen. So for me, I was looking at it and I was like, okay, cool. Like I was projected like 20 more points. I was like, okay, I'm probably going to win. This is going to be good for me. And then DJ Chark doesn't show up. Antonio Gibson has a great day, but Hunter Henry, who I traded for, gets 5 points, and that made me irritated. And then I was sitting there looking down the barrel at DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, like what am I going to do? I could, he was a game time decision, and they wouldn't come out and say anything about it. And then it comes down to kind of like Sunday Night Football here, and you got DeAndre Hopkins on my team, and then you've got DK Metcalf on the other side. And as it kind of turns out, like I was up by like 10 points. And we all know that DK can have like a 3-touchdown game at any point. And DeAndre Hopkins is injured. I was super, super nervous. And then I see DeAndre is getting the work, and DK just sticks at like 4.3 points for like the whole game. And I mean, he had that amazing rundown, but yes. Fortunately, that doesn't give him any fantasy points. But I was so lucky that DeAndre was able to ball out. DK Metcalf got nothing. So glad that I escaped the embarrassment of losing to Kelsey's team.
Here's what we have to talk about, because there's a couple things here. Because you didn't watch this Seattle-Arizona game, did you?
Oh, it was way past my bedtime.
Yeah, so I watched the whole thing, and it was probably the best Sunday night game of the year. So we need to talk about this. First, Kelsey has vented that he almost started Leonard Fournette over, I think it was AP, and had he done that, he would have beat you. So he had you there. But here's the big thing. So Seahawks-Cardinals went into overtime. All right? And I think the Seahawks were on the Arizona 45 or something. And Russ dumps it off to DK, who breaks a tackle, runs down, and scores a touchdown. But that would have won the game for Seattle. He gets that would be, I don't know, probably at least 10 fantasy points. Yeah, to get Kelsey the win. But there's laundry on the field. It was called back for holding on David Moore. Oh, man, I saw that. I was like, Kelsey's going to do it. He's going to beat Taylor. And then just not close.
Oh, thank goodness. And then the Bears.
He almost got
the Bears. Well, yeah, and then I was worried about like the Bears because like the Bears do have a great defense. The Rams are pretty limited, honestly, offensively at this point in their team's life. So, and then I was like worried like is it going to be another like Bears Rams game from like 2 years ago where the Bears got like 30 points on them? That was what I was concerned about. But thank goodness fantasy football gods were on my side for this past week.
Yeah, you squeaked one out. The next game of the week, I guess I played him when he was still, I'm the IR now, but it's Evan. The AB Redemption Arcs losing to the Teddy Brewskis 190.9 to 137.7. Yes, that's the high score of the league this year, I think.
All of those DK Metcalf points went to your boy, Tyler Lockett.
Here's what happened, okay? Because, all right, so I FaceTime Evan, and Pooj was hanging out with Evan too, and this was like when Devontae Adams had like 38 points, and I was like, dude, I'm screwed. Devontae's going to have 40 plus. He finishes with 44.6 fantasy points. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose. Fortunately, by the end of the day, I was looking okay. I was up by probably about 30 points, and I still had Tyler Lockett left, and he had Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and the Rams defense on Monday night. So I said to myself, I was like, okay, if Tyler Lockett gets me 13 points tonight, I'll be happy. Like I'll feel good. Well, guess how many points Tyler Lockett had on the first drive?
8.
13.1 points. And it just kept going. Tyler Lockett, 200 yards, 15 catches for 3 touchdowns, 53 fantasy points. I did read somewhere that's like top 5 all time.
Unreal.
I mean, dude, like, I know he's maybe not the most consistent receiver, but
that's what you get with him.
I am here for the highs because the highs are just like, I mean, this is his second 3 touchdown game this season. It's crazy.
Well, that's just the way your team is structured. Like you have such like good running back depth that you can deal with David Johnson and Josh Jacobs and James Robinson all getting like 15 points. Like you can deal with that because you have Amari and you have Tyler Lockett. And those guys, between the two of them, are going to have games where they get like 45 points. Like, that's just going to happen.
Yeah, I love it. All right, last game of the week. Stat Padford defeating Pooch Top Joe Bottom 125 to 86.8. Rough week for Pooj. The highlight here was Russell Wilson again for Thomas's team, 33.8 fantasy points. And Keenan Allen's having a nice season since Justin Herbert has taken over, 22.5 fantasy points for him. I do...
Lay it on him.
I guess, yeah, but this is going to come back to bite me because
big piece of humble pie.
Fantasy karma is just out to get me. But maybe this is fantasy karma to Pooj instead. Yeah, Pooj, you remember when you came on the show and ripped Kelsey for his single-digit performances for his team and just the way he was performing? I'm going to give you a little fun fact here. You scored 86.8 points this week. Kelsey has not scored that low all season. He has scored 90 or above. I can't remember the exact amount, but he's scored at least 90 points in every single game this season.
Eat it, Pooch. Eat it.
So you lost to him last week, and you slide underneath him this week. Yikes, that's not good. All right, so... But I will say I do play Pooch this week, so I'm a little nervous that I said that now. But anyway, whatever. All right, here's the standings, updated standings in the East. Man, we're getting really competitive. We're at the halfway point. Really excited to see what happens this second half of the season here. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on top in the East at 5-2. The AB Redemption Arcs over at 4-3. AJ's Brownies at 3-4. The Fighting Jordan Howards at 2-5. And Lisa taking up the caboose at 1-6. And over in the West, keeps getting more competitive. I love to see this. Stat Padford at 6-1. The Teddy Brewskis at 5-2, Pooch Top Joe Bottom at 4-3, Hooked on a Thielen at 4-3, and the Injured Reserves at 1-6.
Trick or treat!
All right, brand new segment. It's basically buy or sell, but it's trick or treat because we got to make it fun for Halloween.
It's Halloween,
right?
y'all. Come on.
Yeah, it's cute. All right, So basically, buying is treat, selling is trick. That's all it is. Very simple. All right, we got I think 7 of these things here. I'm excited to hear your opinions on this, Taylor.
You know, I got some big opinions.
I know
I'm the
you do.
opinion
Okay,
guy on this
so-
pod.
Antonio Brown will be a consistent, usable fantasy option this season. I say trick.
I say treat, and here's why. I think it's a treat because Tom Brady likes him. Look at what's happening with Gronk. As soon as you get him into the system, he's going to be used. And I think that he's going to take a role with Chris Godwin, and I think he's going to definitely be getting some yards. I think he's going to be looking for him in touchdowns. I think this hurts Mike Evans a lot. I don't know if I see Mike Evans going into like a slot receiver role. I could see Antonio Brown doing both. I think he's going to be getting a lot of targets, and also Tampa Bay's offense is blowing up right now. So I would definitely want to be a part of that. I don't think that I want to pay as much as Evan paid for him, but I think he will be a solid flex.
Yeah, I stand with you there. I think the one thing that makes me call this a trick is the word consistent.
Yes.
I don't think he's going to be consistent. I think he's definitely going to have games where he scores 20 plus. And you're going to have those, but it's not going to be a weekly consistent, okay, plug and play, set it and forget it kind of player. So that's why I said it was trick. But I definitely do see the value in Antonio Brown. Do I think he's going to, be the Antonio Brown of old? No, but I think he's going to be, a usable fantasy option, just not consistent. So that's where my trick came from. Okay. Oh man, I can just hear several people getting angry about this already, and I haven't even said it. Okay, Jacob Collier is overrated.
You go first.
I say that's a trick.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain. Okay, you want to save yours? I see. Okay.
Well, I just want to wait to destroy you. Is all.
Maybe I just gave it away then. Okay, so I think it's a trick. I think the guy is probably the most brilliant artist that I have heard. Like, one of the most brilliant artists I've ever heard. Like, the things that he can do, the way he thinks about music, and his music is fantastic. It's very enjoyable. Now, I don't listen to him a ton. I'll admit that. But when I do, I enjoy it. And I think he's, I don't think he's overrated simply because he's not terribly held in that same category of people who are as well known as maybe like these other pop icons and things like that. So that's why I don't really think he's overrated in that regard. I think he's just a tremendous talent, and that speaks for itself.
Okay, so I think I agreed with you until a certain point. Do I think he's brilliant? Absolutely. The dude's unbelievable. He's incredibly smart. His music is so intricate and all those things. It's great. But at a certain point, I don't like the music. Like you said, I really think his music is great. I just don't. I think it's too heady. It's too many things going on. And to me, I just stay in a key, dude. Stay in a key. And you don't need to add more suspensions all the time. It's just too much. You know what I mean? It's just like assault on my ears. And it's just he's just way too aggressive with all of that stuff. And I get that you're a genius. I get it. But at a certain point, I just don't feel like his music ever flows super well. And a big thing for me is his voice. I just can't stand his voice.
Wow, really?
I don't like his voice. I don't like it at all. Okay. But that being said, I do like a couple of his songs. I like his stuff that's more poppy, that's not trying to be too much. I like, All I Need. I think is that newer one that he came out with. I like that one. That was a good one. But some of his other stuff in it, it's just it's like an 8-minute just look at how brilliant I am. And I'm just not into that. And the thing I also get annoyed with is people that listen to him and they just close their eyes and they just vibe and yeah, dude, I totally see what he's doing. And he's just a crazy and it's whatever, dude. So he's great. Yes, he's very talented. I got that. But his stuff, it's just too much. And I just don't like listening to it.
I can hear Pujan typing in the comments right now.
Yeah.
I can hear yeah.
Yeah. He can come at me. That's fine. I'm not saying that he's not good. I just don't like him.
I love it. All right. Here's another one. Okay, if you haven't found out, the Chiefs are playing the Jets at home in Kansas City on Sunday. Oh boy. I think this is probably someone will have to vet this for me. I think it's the biggest line that we've seen in modern day NFL history. Yes, the Chiefs are the Chiefs are favored by 20.5 points against the Jets. Okay, so the question is, will the Chiefs cover their 20.5 point line versus the Jets this Sunday?
Is it at the Jets?
No, it's at Arrowhead.
Yeah. I'm gonna say treat, because I just don't see a way that the Jets offense can score more than like 10 points, and I don't see a way that the Chiefs don't score 30.
I agree with you. I also said treat. I mean, you know I'm going to take the treat on this
Of
one.
course. I mean,
come
look at your
on.
boys behind you right now.
Look
Your
at my
virtual
boys
background.
behind me. Yeah,
your boys.
The spooky seven. I think is there 7 people? I can't count. But I was going for that alliteration. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I don't see a world in where the Chiefs don't score less than 30 and the Jets score more than 10.
They don't have the weapons. They don't have an offensive line to support Sam. It's just not going to happen.
Also, I just want to give a shout out to Kelsey. Kelsey, I have Lev Bell in one of my leagues, and I am certainly flexing him this week for that revenge game against the Jets. I don't know if it's really a good move, but I just want to see Lev just run all over Adam Gase and the Jets. It'll be hilarious. Okay, all you music nerds out here, Symphonie Fantastique by Hector Berlioz. Is it a trick or a treat?
The fact that it's good.
Correct. I say it is a treat. It is a fantastic piece of music. It's one of those things, it's programmatic music in a sense that Berlioz gave us basically a template and a story behind the piece, right? So we can sit there and listen to this, imagining what he's listening, to and like seeing while he's writing this music. And I think it's some of the most exciting music. There's some fantastic just orchestration in it. Get out of here, Taylor. This is my time.
I'm not saying anything. I'm making faces because you're wrong, but
I think it's fantastic. What don't you like about it?
It's 50 some minutes. And it has 2 minutes of good music. The ending is great. And then there's maybe a couple of 10 measure stuff in the middle. But there are just these blocks of 15 minutes where it's just boring. And yes, I understand Berlioz, great orchestrator. Okay. Him and Ravel, they're the dudes. We got it for orchestration. But it is a snooze fest. I literally, when I was in college, I went to a Grand Rapids Symphony concert. I think it was my junior year or something like that. And they played this piece. And it was, I fell asleep. I'm a college music major and I can't even stay awake during it. It's not very good.
I just, you just don't have good taste.
Oops.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, let's see if you have good...
Do not oops me.
Let's see if you have good taste about this one. Okay, Domino's Pizza is great. Let's change this. Domino's Pizza is the best chain pizzeria.
Okay. All right.
Is that fair?
I don't know. Let me think. It's not Pizza Hut's way worse. I think pizza is my least favorite.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Little Caesars is not good.
It's terrible. It's cardboard.
I would rather have Jets than Domino's. There's one Jets in Austin.
Okay,
but
I would, yeah.
I would rather, yeah. So it's not the greatest pizza chain, but it is up there. Domino's is good, y'all, and the price makes it so much more affordable. You can get 3 medium pizzas, 2 toppings, $18. You kidding me? That's great, and they're everywhere. And have you had that stuffed cheesy bread? Unbelievable. It is so good. I don't understand people, it's cardboard. Maybe 15 years ago, they changed their recipe. It is good stuff. And it's so cheap. It is the perfect college food. Now, you tell everybody about your bad take.
Taylor, hold on. Taylor knows his Domino's Pizza. # not a sponsor. I wish they were a sponsor. Domino's, if you're listening, you can be our sponsor. Okay, I think Papa John's is probably my favorite chain pizza.
But Papa John's is $15 for a large.
When I go for here's my little disclaimer, my little asterisk #Pooj is that I don't eat a lot of chain pizzeria. So I used to work in a pizzeria at home, a mom and pop. The owner was my neighbor. He was from Italy. He literally came to my house and asked if I wanted a job.
His ancestors created pizza.
So basically, yeah, Franco. So So yeah, I grew up working at this pizzeria, like learning how to make homemade dough, making homemade pizza, and eating this stuff. So like usually when I go grab a pizza, it's gonna be like I'm trying to find a mom and pop place, and that's not to say I won't eat like a chain pizza. I just haven't had it a ton, but I will say I do enjoy Papa John's when I get the chance.
Papa John's is good. I'll say it's good, but it's just so not worth the price. No,
All right.
I mean their prices are like competitive with like Giordano's. Like it's like ounce per dollar. Like it's crazy what they cost you. Domino's is like maybe just it's either equal or just under the quality of Papa John's, but like I would still go there like 10 times out of 10 over Papa J's.
Fair enough. If you can get their sponsorship for us,
I'll see what I can do.
yeah, see if you can pull some strings. All right, next one. The Seahawks have the best odds of making it to the Super Bowl in the NFC. We both said treat on this one. This one's just obvious, you know?
I don't know if it's obvious. I mean, who is their contender?
Nobody.
The Bucks?
Yeah, maybe the Bucks, but if you put I guess the Bucks have the defense, and
it's
that's,
no one in the NFC East, and it's not the Packers. So it's
I
probably
don't believe it's the Packers
Bucks.
either. Right? I would say it's the Bucks, and they have the defense, but I just like the offense. Like Seattle's offense is just so good. Like we've seen the Bucks have good games and bad games on offense.
Yes.
We haven't seen Seattle have a bad game on offense yet.
Well, here's the caveat, and I'm saying treat for this. I think that they are going to be they should definitely be favored to go to the Super Bowl for the NFC, but I do think they're asking Russ to do a little too much. I think that he is balling out right now, but we've seen this. Saw this happen last year. They get limited, and I would say like, if they would have gotten AB,
But he's Mr. Unlimited.
my gosh. But like, I don't think their defense is very good at all. I mean, like they're giving up so many points to every team they play. I just think, you have Chris Carson, who's really solid. Their offensive line's, okay. And then, they got Lockett and DK, but I don't know. I get worried about that. They've got their thing that they do that's really well, but can Russ just like win them a Super Bowl? I don't know if he's that good.
All right.
Yeah, I think Pat Mahomes can do that. And even then, he almost didn't, against the 49ers. So I don't think he's that good. And I don't think his weapons are that good.
All right. Fair enough.
But I do think they should be favored.
I think they'll be it's between the Bucks and the Seahawks for me right now. I'll take the Seahawks as of now. All right. Oh, Taylor, here we go. Paranormal movies are better than gory movies. I say trick. I cannot stand... Okay, I'm not a scary movie person to begin with, but I'm with you on this, Taylor. Like, I can't watch paranormal movies because it's too real. Like, the possession and, like, the demon stuff, like, that freaks me out. But, like, if you give me a movie like Scream to watch where it's just all gore, yeah, I don't really mind that. Like, there's a few jump scares, but, like, whatever, I'll deal with that. But, like, the paranormal stuff... that makes me think, and that's a big no-no in Joe Land.
I have said this before. I will say it again until the day I die. I will never watch another scary movie.
Wow.
I will never watch another one. I have seen probably 4. Every single time, I cannot sleep for a week. And the last one I watched, I'm like literally getting chills just thinking about it. And like, I might have trouble sleeping, like just thinking about it.
Chilly.
But I watched the movie and some people might like laugh and be like, oh, that's not even bad. But I watched the movie Insidious.
I heard that was freaky.
So I watched it, and there's a scene where there's like a tree and there's like family members that died from, hanging on the tree. And there is a tree outside my room. And when I was going to bed, I was like, huddling under the covers, like so scared. I had like a fan going. I had all this like lights on in my room.
Oh, man.
But then there's like this like tree that was like dead because I watched it when it was like winter or something like that. And my brother was coming home and he turned on the lights to our garage that are right outside the garage, and it lit up the tree. As soon as I like opened my eyes and like looked up, the lights turned on, and I was done.
Oh no.
I was done. It like took me. I didn't sleep in my room for a week.
Oh,
I slept downstairs on the floor in my brother's room. So like I can't do either of these. Neither of these. My roommate tries to get me to watch these scary movies. Like, oh, you want to watch like even like Prometheus or something like that. It's like scary, but it's not really. But like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm retired. Can't do it.
I feel you there. I will retire myself from scary movies as well. Okay, last one. Oh boy, RIP. Michigan State football will have 2+ wins.
So we looked at
boy.
the schedule.
Yeah, can you give us a rundown of the schedule real quick? Do you have that pulled up?
I don't, but let me get it.
See if you can pull it up. So yeah, because Taylor and I looked at the schedule here, and
all right, I got it.
we tried to see how many wins we could squeak out. What do you got?
So we're playing Michigan this coming week. Michigan's favored by 24.5. Okay, we're not going to win. We're not going to win, y'all. Then we play Iowa. Iowa's tough, and Iowa always has players. And we're in definitely a rebuilding mode, new coach. I call that a loss.
Is that in Iowa City?
At Iowa. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's an L.
And then the last 2 games of the year is Ohio State and Penn State. We're not winning those games. We do not have the bodies.
Nope.
So then you're left with Indiana, who's ranked 17th right now. Indiana at Michigan State at Maryland, and the Northwestern at Michigan State. Now Northwestern has had our number for quite a while, but I think the game is late enough. I think that we can say that one's going to be a W. I think we'll figure it out by then. If we just have maybe just 4 turnovers for this game, that'd be great for us. And then you also have Maryland. I think that one's going to be a win. And then we got Indiana. I'd say that's a loss. So I think it's going to be a 2 and what will that make us? 2-7, something like that. 2-8. I think that's going to be where we end up.
Yeah. So we both said treat on this. I agree with you. I think there's those last 3 games are where we could get 2 wins, right? So yeah. Indiana, I think it's doable. Is that in Bloomington or in East Lansing?
At State.
Okay, so that's where I'm like, okay, that could be a win. I hear what you're saying about the Northwestern thing. They've had our number when we play them in Evanston. Every year, whenever we're at Northwestern, we'll lose. Now, it's a home game. I feel better about that. I think between Indiana, Northwestern, and Maryland, we can get at least 2 wins.
Jeez, maybe.
But man, I mean, I hope Rutgers goes on a tear here.
So bad. We looked so bad.
I hope Rutgers is just good, and it's not that we're bad. But I think it's safe to say we're currently the worst team in the Big Ten, and that sucks. But how about something more important? How about the worst team in our league? Let's check out some power rankings.
Power rankings. Hooah.
Okay, week 8. Yeah, we're on week 8. Oh my gosh. Week 8 power rankings. Oh man. Number 10, and Lisa. The fall from grace for Kevin. He's sitting at 1-6. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier too, because we really liked his team to start, but it's just been a rough go.
Yeah, through trades, injuries. I mean, I'm looking at his team right now, and there's about 4 players that I would feel like I would want to start. Everybody else, I'm like, can I bench him this week? So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. Okay, coming in at number 9 is the injured reserves. Kelsey staves off that number 10 finish again.
They're scary, though.
They're starting to come around here.
Scary.
I think, Todd Gurley has really been showing up. He was kind of a touchdown-dependent guy, but he's starting to get more work in that offense, and that's really been helping Kelsey out, so I like to see that. Coming in at number 8, AJ's Brownies. Just a little bit of tough sledding lately. He can have a big win this week against Kevin. I mean, I think he can do it. That'll bring him up to 500. We'll see what happens there.
I'm shocked at his record. I really am shocked. And his team's not very deep, but he just finds a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fantasy football, right? All right. Number 7 and number 6. The Fighting Jordan Howard's coming in at 7, and the AB Redemption Arcs coming in at 6. Tim is still just dealing with that. I think that bad luck. He's a high-scoring team, but he's starting to see a little bit of that wear off now with Josh Allen coming back to earth a little bit. Mm-hmm. And the Austin Eckler injury is also kind of hurting him.
Yeah, and plus Zeke is just a train wreck right now for the Cowboys. So
yeah.
He just doesn't have that consistent running back that he was hoping to get with him. It's just, yeah. I think, deserves to be number 7. He's not the worst. He's not terrible. He can win any week. He really can, but it's just hasn't worked out so far. I have no reason to think it's going to work out here in the future.
Yeah, could be tough. Evan sliding in at 6, hoping to get CMC back in the next week or so. Still hurting at running back, though, because he's got Miles Sanders out. But it's still in a good place to compete in his division. Coming in at number 5 is yourself, hooked on a Thielen.
Yeah, I know what my team is. Like my team is solid. I know who I am, and I don't have a ton of depth. I don't, but you know what? Like my team, I'm going to find a way to start a group of dudes, and I feel pretty good about playing almost anybody. This week's a little bit rough due to bye weeks, but my team's solid. I can win any game, but I also very easily could lose any game. I belong right in the middle.
I love it. All right. Number 4, number 3, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air coming in at 4, and Pooch Top Joe Bottom at number 3. Now, we disagreed upon this. I actually had Derek at 3 and Pooch at 4, but it ended up coming out to be Derek in the 4 spot and Pooch in the 3 spot.
Did you hear that, Pooch? I'm coming to your defense here, okay?
Wow,
I've changed.
Shocker!
Well, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more, but like he's just got depth. He's got depth in wide receiver. I like Pooch's team.
Yeah, like to see it. Okay, number 2, number 1. Oh, Thomas is waiting with bated breath. Coming in at number 2. Oh, the Teddy Brewskis. Yes, we the Teddy Brewskis are feeling good. We're feeling great. We have great depth. Lots of things happening in Brewski world. Yeah, I just feel really great about my running back depth. In fact, I am in a place now where I'm hoping to get a couple more weeks and then maybe wheeling and dealing here before the trade deadline. Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not getting 53 points from Tyler Lockett every week, but I do like to see his involvement in that offense. I think he's definitely a better wide receiver than what we perceived, in draft season. He's definitely kind of coming into his own and showing that he, if he's not the one in Seattle, he's probably the 1A. Or at least, that DK Tyler Lockett split is really close where people were having Metcalf way above Tyler Lockett. So I love to see it. And coming in at number 1, Thomas, you're back.
He's
Stat
back.
Padford, back by popular demand. Don't get mad at us. Yeah, I think he'll still get mad at us because
he'll still find something to complain about.
Yeah, so Stat Padford coming in at number 1 gets the win, 6-1. Still solid. Still with Michael Thomas out. Hopefully he comes back soon. He did practice today. But yeah, Thomas is still winning, man. He's getting those dubs.
Absolutely. It's the running back depth that really does it for me. I mean, he's got Kareem Hunt, who just has proven that he's a great starter every single week. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, bona fide start every week. He does have Joe Mixon he got from me, and Joe Mixon gets a ton of work. Same thing with David Montgomery. Those guys are going to be really fairly consistent. I'd say high floor for them. And then Ronald Jones, he has him back it up, and Ronald Jones has been great all year. So just got a lot of depth there. Plus he's got Russell Wilson.
Yeah. We're going to talk about that right now in a brand new segment. Here we go.
Building Frankenstein.
All right, brand new segment, Building Frankenstein. We're looking at everybody's teams and taking basically like the running back room from blank team and the wide receiver room from blank team and putting it together to make a super team. So this is what we came up with. Quarterback room, we're taking Thomas's team, Stat Padford, Russell Wilson. I mean, what more can we say?
Dude's a baller.
Total baller. All right, how about running backs, Tay?
For running backs, we got to go with the Teddy Brewskis. It's just too deep. You got Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, and then those are not even his best two. That's not even his best running back. It's your boy James Robinson. And he's got David Johnson, and then we have Chase Edmonds. Guess what what running back he is over the whole year?
Oh, he's in the 20s somewhere, right?
He's 23. He's an RB. He's an RB2, and you haven't even started him. You haven't needed to start him. So obviously, it's got to be the Teddy Brewskis.
You can't forget about DJ. Am I right? All right, here we go. Wide receivers. We've got Pooch Top Joe Bottom. We're taking your wide receiver room. Evan was the runner-up here, but I think Pooch does it with the depth. CeeDee Lamb, Tyler Boyd, Mike Evans. That's sweet, man.
Will Fuller.
Oh, I forgot about Will Fuller. Will Fuller 5.
Travis Fulgham, who's turned into an absolute stud.
Love to see it. How about those tight ends?
For the tight ends, we got the Teddy Brewskis once again. His trade for George Kittle was crazy. Right now, George Kittle, he missed 2 games, is still the tight end number 2. Right now, he's averaging 18.4. The tight end number 1, Travis Kelce, of course. I mean, it is fantasy football after all. He's averaging 16.9, though. George Kittle is an absolute beast. Going forth throughout this year, I would rather have the tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, your boy, George Kittle. But also coming up in our honorable mentions, we got Pooch Top, Joe Bottom, of course. Travis Kelce's great, bona fide start. And then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Darren Waller. Yeah. Been great all year.
For sure. And defense, this is an easy one. AJ's Brownies still holding on to those Colts, baby, and you're right for
Disgusting.
They are a killer defense so far. You said they have had no negative games. Is that correct?
No negative games. They have a 27-point game in there. Right now they're averaging 11.8.
Yeah, love to see that. We took you as the runner-up there, hooked on a theme with the Bucks. I like the Bucks the rest of the year as well.
Just picked him up on the waiver wire, too. I think I paid $1
looking
for him.
Good, looking good. And how about those bench players?
For the benches, we got Pooch Top, Joe Bottom. He's just deep. That's the thing that's keeping him in that number 3 spot in our power rankings. You just got really, really great receivers. A lot of those people, I would not have any problem starting CeeDee Lamb, Will Fuller. I really like James White, although he had a really bad game. He's got Chase Claypool. Phillip Lindsay might be getting some work here now that we don't know what's going to happen with Melvin Gordon. It's just a really, really great bench.
Love to see it. All right, let's take a look at some matchups for this week.
Matchup preview.
All right, some matchups. We're going to breeze through these here because we've got some more Halloween-themed segments for you. AJ's Brownies at 3-4, taking on and Lisa at 1-6. We said it earlier. I think it's a chance for Marshall to get to 4-4. We'll see if Kevin can pull off the upset here. We are in the thick of bye weeks, though, so it's getting tough. Second game of the week, the Fighting Jordan Howards at 2-5, taking on injured reserves at 1-6. This is going to be an interesting game. Both teams could come out of this as 2-6, or Tim could start, climbing back up in the East here.
Well, as of recording this right now, looking at the matchup, Julio Jones, 4 receptions, 85 yards. He's got 12.5 points. Curtis Samuel's got a rushing touchdown. It's looking good for the injured reserves.
There you go, Kelsey. All right, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air at 5-2, taking on the AB Redemption Arcs at 4-3. Evan needs some redemption this week.
Yes, he does. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I just think Derek's team, he can just go off for such huge point totals. He's got Calvin Ridley. He's probably going to end up with like 9 touchdowns in this game against the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm going Derek's team.
Can't forget about King Henry either. And then you hooked on a Thielen at 4-3, taking on Stat Padford at 6-1.
This is a scary week for me. Very, very scary. I don't like my chances here, but you never know. You never know who's going to show up.
Yes, you never know. And the last game, by the way, that game's the game of the week, and so is this. The Teddy Brewskis at 5-2, taking on Pooch Top, Joe Bottom at 4-3. Oh, baby. Pooch, it's rivalry week, man. You've beat me I guess they're not the last 2 times, but 2 times last year or 2 years ago, he beat me because his kicker scored 20+. Well, guess what? We got rid of kickers, Pooch. Yeah.
This is all just a ploy by Joe to get rid of kickers to beat Pooch's team.
I'm actually, to be honest, I'm very nervous about this. We'll see what happens. Could go anybody's way. All right.
I love this rivalry, though. It's like Ohio State, Michigan, Boston Red Sox, Yankees, and then it's Joe Pujon followed by Duke, UNC. I love the rivalry we have.
Yeah, so it's only in fantasy football and basketball, like playing basketball, that Pooj and I will kind of go at each other, and I love it. All right. Are you ready, Taylor? Do you have are the lights on? You've got like
I'm ready as I'll ever be, but I'm scared.
All right, let's go.
Ooh, scary stories.
Okay, scary stories. We looked up, I'm sure you guys are familiar with the 2-sentence horror stories from Reddit. So we're going to read 5 each. Let's see how scared we get.
I might need to turn on some more lights before we do this.
So I ordered them in least scary to most scary, okay?
Okay, you go ahead and lead us off.
All right, I'll lead us off. Okay. They say a shiver... Wait. Okay, here we go. Sorry. They say a shiver down your spine means that someone's walking over your future burial site. As my husband walks around outside gardening, the shivers won't stop.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh.
Don't like that at all. Okay, here's one for me. A young girl hears her mother call her name from downstairs, so she gets up and starts to head down. As she gets to the top of the stairs, her mother pulls her back and whispers, "Don't go down there. I heard it too."
Oh gosh.
I read that one earlier and I was like,
Ooh, it's giving you the shivers. Okay,
this might be too much.
I've got another one with Mom. Okay, you ready? My
Yes.
mom says I need to start taking my schizophrenia medication again because it's unhealthy for me to suddenly stop taking them. But it's the only way I can keep her around.
Ooh, I was thinking it was going to go a different way, but I don't like that at all
That's a
either.
little spooky.
Here's one from me. This one I'm like definitely just not into this at all. This is like a personal fear of mine. I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again.
Yo, isn't there there's a one of the Paranormal Activity movies, isn't it? Like they that's a scene. Like in the mirror.
That's been used before, and then even in the movie Sinister. We have to stop. Let's move on to the next one.
During dinner, she told me she knew my deep dark secret. As she chewed her burger, I knew she was bluffing. Isn't that? Ooh, it's kind of gross.
Yeah, don't like that. All right, here's one for me. This one definitely like spooked me out. I have like a really vivid. Let's just do it. Okay, I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed."
Yo!
There's two of them.
Quick, Taylor, go look under your bed.
No,
God.
shut up. Shut your mouth right now.
What if you found?
I'm sleeping downstairs
What if
now.
you?
Thanks
What
for
if
that
you
comment.
found me underneath your
No,
bed?
no, there's no what if. There's no what if. No, we're not going there.
Oh gosh, I freaked him out. Okay, we found your daughter, the officer said as he drew an X on the map. And then he drew another. And another. And another.
Oh, no.
And
no,
another.
No, thanks. Joe, you are really gearing me out. All right, here's my last one, and I am like deathly afraid of these things, and this is why. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I begin to hear popping. Mannequins freak me TF out. Do not like mannequins. I cannot look at them at the store.
Wow.
Don't like them at all. I'm so skittish. I can't
All
stand
right,
it.
I have one more, and I think this is gonna take the cake here. I read it and it freaked me out. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
I had a dream I was being dragged to hell, burning and writhing in agony. I woke up with the doctor standing over me saying, "Phew, we lost you for a few minutes."
Too real.
Yo,
Too real.
That
Too
freaked
real.
me
We need
out.
to end this segment right now.
That was so bad. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Well, I hope we brought a little fright to your Friday night, boys, because we definitely brought some to Taylor.
I cannot wait till Thanksgiving. Can we just get to the
Quick, skip
the
to the
happier
Thanksgiving
holidays?
podcast. All right. Well, fortunately, that's all we got, Taylor. I'm sure you're glad about that.
We made
Oh,
it.
man.
Oh, scary stories.
All right. Before we close it out, little name game, little Halloween themed name game. I posted it in the Facebook group. Take a look at it. I think everybody got them. Maybe a couple that we missed. Nikhil Harry, Philip Dorsett, David Njoku, Jack Doyle, Jason Kelsey, and Jacoby Myers. Hey, that's all we got for you this week on the official league podcast. Another episode done. We got through it, Taylor. I hope you're not too scared. The Halloween
Well,
episode.
I'm about to go turn on all the lights in the neighborhood, so
Love it.
thanks, Joe.
All right, hope you enjoyed the game last night. Get ready for all the games this weekend, and we'll catch you next week on another episode. We'll see you then. Peace out, guys.
Happy Halloween. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Bands Make Her Dance Fantasy Football League Podcast.